Well, Fanatic, thank you for coming onto the podcast. This means a lot.
Hell yeah.
I've known you for, what, like 2 years now?
Oh yeah, I guess it would have been March.
Yeah, but the
when we
the
started.
the interesting thing about our collaboration is I don't think we actually spoke to each other until like a year ago.
Yeah, it would have been started 2024 is when me, you, and MJ started actually gaming.
Yeah, that was it was kind of bizarre because like I had for the development of Evil Dead, I had only actually talked to you in DMs, like
And
sending documents about what I
yeah,
wanted for the map. And then like actually getting to like get in a voice call with you and just like chill on zombies was just so like
we
interesting.
made an entire map without talking once. And I don't know if I ever told you, but my first impression, I thought you were like a little kid.
I have not heard
And
this.
so until I saw like your first document of the map, I'm like, oh shit, like this is actually a real thing. I thought I was just helping out with a little box map, you know?
Mm.
And then I saw the pictures. I said, oh, okay, this guy knows what he's doing.
I want to talk a little bit about that beginning process. I approached you. I think
Yep.
I saw like a post you made on Devra or Mod Tools.
Yeah, it must have been Devra. I think that was the only thing I had at the time.
Hmm. I saw it and then I was like, okay, perfect. This is like a normal thing for people to advertise scripting abilities. Let me just DM this guy. I don't think once I've seen another person like offer scripting. Am I could
I
be tripping.
think I saw like Logical offering some stuff.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'll copy that exact format and just lower the price a bit because mine probably wouldn't be as good. And Evil Dead definitely showed that.
Oh nah, what are you talking about? Dude, that
Nah,
was
it might have it might have gotten done, but that was not great.
well, before that post, what kind of made you think like, okay, I feel confident enough in my coding abilities to try to market myself?
See, what started it was I eventually figured out that I couldn't do shit in Radiant, and
Mm.
I fucking hated mapping. So I said, all right, let me just do it for other people's maps so I don't have to do that shit. You know?
Well, I don't know. Groston House is kind of that's an
All right,
underrated
dude.
masterpiece.
All right.
The 8 hour Groston House dev stream. I mean, that's a classic.
Yeah,
It's a
bro.
classic zombies dev stream.
That's my fucking that's my peak right there. Hang that on the mantle.
Well, what kind of got you into scripting to begin with?
Well, it was actually the first thing I wanted to do with mod tools. Back on I guess would have been World at War. I played Clinic of Evil,
Oh
and that
yeah.
shit blew my fucking mind. And I was just obsessed with fucking Easter eggs, obviously in the main games. So I said, hell yeah, I want to make my own shit. And what I didn't know at the time was that you had to code. I thought it was just like, hey, fucking load this shit up and you can drag in the moon ball and it would do the Easter egg for you. That was not the case. So I watched, I guess it would have been, who was it? I don't think it was Ice Grenade. Maybe it was Ice Grenade. But there was some scripting tutorials out there, and I couldn't follow that shit to save my life
Yeah.
until let me look this up real quick so I don't look like a dumbass.
I remember watching like Jaybird tutorials for mapping, and then I just
Yeah.
get like he gets to like a part where he's like, "All right, now you're gonna want to add door scripts." I'm like, "Oh, I'm like what the fuck?"
I'm sure we all started on Jaybird's tutorials.
I get so intimidated by scripting, so I have like such high regards for not only you but like all scripters because I'm just like that's just a foreign language to me.
Oh, I found the exact. Was it? I'm pretty sure this was the exact video. If my comment's still on here. I sat down and watched this all the way through, and immediately I picked up on everything that needed to be done and how scripts kind of worked. So, for example, in this video, I don't know if he streamed it, but this video, he kind of just showed how to pick up an item and place it somewhere else. And not knowing at the time, it kind of doesn't really work like you're picking up the thing itself.
Mhm.
It's it's in one place, you disappear, and then in the other place you make it appear. It's not like you're physically holding it. Obviously, that might make sense, but I don't know. I was a kid at the time. I didn't really know how it worked. So I'm like, okay, that kind of opened my eyes a bit. So I left a little comment on there saying, "Hey, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I watched this video and now I know how it works."
Do you remember, like, the first script you made outside of, like, tutorials? Just something you were like, "Okay, this is gonna be an original Easter egg or an original just, like, code thing?"
I actually do. I have the very first Easter egg I ever made, and stupidly, my very first project, I wanted to remake Clinic of Evil. Obviously, that never worked out, but it would have been kind of like a Ghosts and Skulls from IW kind of esque.
I'm a little unfamiliar with that.
So that's like, it's an Easter egg. There's like 6 steps to all the arcade machine kind of shits, and each step they give you a skull on the machine. And instead, I was just gonna use like some lights or whatever. It was like, let me remember the steps. I'm talking way too fucking random right now.
No, you're good.
I guess the main goal was you were repairing a crossbow
Mhm.
and you shoot the arrow into the final light to light it up. And once you do that, you go in and do like a little maze kind of mini game. It was going to play in the Hall of the Mountain King. So you had to do it like in a certain time limit. And if you did it, you got all the perks. And if you failed, you are fucked and you couldn't do it for the rest of the game. So that would have been my first Easter egg I made. It wasn't great, but you know,
Yeah, it worked, right?
well,
Do you remember any scripts in those early days that you found, like, especially proud of?
in the early days, what would have been my early days? I'm trying to think of like the very first thing I ever made. It must have been just picking up an item and placing it after watching that guy's stream. But the first one I would be proud of, I guess, would be Evil Dead. That was still
Really?
kind of early on, and that was my first big project. The first thing I would technically release to the workshop.
You're not proud of Director's Cut mod?
Okay, I guess that did come before. At the time,
I love
yeah,
Director's Cut mod.
I kind of forgot about Director's Cut mod. I was working on something pretty big for that too. And I guess, yeah, that would have been before Evil Dead. I can probably talk about it because I don't see myself ever going back to it. So I was going to work on an overhaul for the mod, which would have added a super Easter egg to the Black Ops 3 maps, like the base
Mm.
maps, Shadows through Rev. And I wanted to add, I don't know what it was going to be yet because I wanted it to kind of make sense. But I essentially wanted to add like a super boss for Black Ops 3, which thinking back, I think was gonna be some Shadow Man variant during the Great War. So I would have had like a Great War map that it would have transitioned to after Rev, and there would have been like the apothecans flying around and shit.
Oh,
The ideas I had I thought were pretty neat, but
that is fucking awesome.
yeah, but I don't see myself ever going back to it. So I feel like it's okay to share this stuff now. Here's a little picture I made. The last tweet I made of that was August 4th, 2023, almost 2 years ago.
Mm.
But I was going to add little side quests to the maps as well to make them a little more fun. Like, for example, getting like what is it? The Apothecant Servant quest and a free Arnie quest for Rev, since they're only in the fucking box, and that's stupid as fuck. So it's gonna add little shit like that to make the maps better, in my opinion. So
Whoa.
that top part redacted main was the super Easter egg part of it.
Mm.
And the scripting bit was me actually first figuring out how to save data across maps. So this is the mod that I guess taught me that. So I had it all working to where it would track the Easter eggs and know which ones you got done on the base maps, which was neat. And then the scripting final would have been the boss fight, and the mapping would have been the map, which I didn't want to do.
Well, you could have always had it be set in Grosson House, like I said.
Yeah, I probably should have. I just need to do a Grossenhouse House map for everything.
I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with Grosson House Origins, Grosson House Mob of the Dead. I mean,
Exactly. Grossenhouse House can be my shipment of the workshop.
well, I wanna also ask, what are some of those major challenges that you found in those early days?
Oh god, what wasn't a challenge back then?
Oh yeah.
Literally everything I came across gave me a fucking headache. I would spend weeks trying to do something as simple as I don't even know, something stupid like how to I guess move an object. Like some just wouldn't like rotate correctly or move properly,
Hmm.
and I would spend way too fucking long on that shit that I don't know. I just now obviously I think of it as a waste of time, but if I never did it, then I wouldn't know how to do it, you know?
Right. No, I don't think it's never like a waste of time to like learn stuff. I feel like when I'm
Oh
in
yeah.
when I'm in Radiant, you're always just like learning some. At least when I began, I was always learning some bullshit. And I was like, "What the fuck is even this?" And now I'm just like, "Oh, remember that one thing I thought was really stupid, and is still kind of stupid. It might help me in this very specific scenario." So getting that kind of like information, I always find like no matter how fucking dumb shit stupid it is, it's always
Mhm.
really helpful.
I definitely agree.
Now pushing out of the early days, we finally come to Evil Dead. Now
Oh
this
boy.
this was my first map I had ever like felt confident enough in
Mhm.
being like, okay, I'll make this and it'll be good. It's small, it's compact, but I wanted there to be like a really good like quest to it. And I'm
Mhm.
I'm very lucky to have found you. Because I think I don't know if the map would have even released if I didn't have an Easter egg for it.
Interesting.
When you get a document like the fucking Evil Dead one, maybe I'll have like a picture of what it looked like. It's so
Oh
stupid.
no, honestly, let me tell you, that document was the best thing I had ever seen working with somebody.
Really.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Before that, it was strictly only DMs. No docs, no nothing. They would just say, "Hey, can you do this or that?" And I just kind of put the pieces together and figure it out.
Hmm.
But like your doc had like pictures, it listed out exactly what you needed for certain things. The Easter egg steps were detailed as fuck. Well, more detailed than I'd ever seen, at least.
Well,
So it was just I don't know. I love that shit.
I come from like a film background where
Yeah.
where you really need to just list out every specific thing in mainly documents. You can't just show up on set and be like, maybe we'll put the camera over there and then we'll find a
Hmm.
prop that looks like this. It's like, no, you really have to have every single thing planned out, and then once you've got that, then you could start making the short, or in this case
Yeah.
like the map.
Yeah. It definitely felt like before just showing up to a set without a script
Hmm.
and trying to film for the day is kind of how it used to feel.
What were some of like the biggest challenges when working on that map? Because I can think of a lot of cut content. Because just me
Hmm.
personally, I was stressing about it. I was like, fuck, it'll never work. Like I was mad stressing about that. You were probably chill as hell, honestly. But
I think back when we first started, I think I got at least one thing done every single day for that first week. If I remember correctly, maybe it was like 1 or 2 days, but I was like, okay, here's the Origin Soul boxes, and then the next day I was like, okay, here's the film Easter egg thing or whatever, the audio reels.
mhm.
But then I got to that main quest, and well, we went from March to October before that thing got done.
Well, that was also on my end as well, because I remember you sent me like a YouTube video of just demonstrating the Easter egg. I was
Mhm.
like, this is amazing. Change this, that. Right? I felt so bad writing that. I was like, oh, he put so much effort into this.
No, I honestly love when they do that because I like making sure it's exactly, the mapper's vision of what they wanted for the map.
I want to talk a little bit about like the cut AI that I had planned for the map.
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
remember exactly why I cut it. I was probably just being, you know, regular old throwing mold and being like, fuck it, it's gone. Where like, but originally we were gonna have the character Henrietta from Evil Dead 2 in the map.
That we were. But I think what happened there was I was trying to rig it with the Brutus thing because I did not know AI at fucking all, and I still don't. So I was trying to rig it to that, and it just wasn't lining up properly because I didn't know how to weight paint. So I was just kind of showing you the best of what I could do at the time. And you're just like, I don't know. I got school coming up. You had something coming up. You're just like, I just got to get this map out next week. So I was like, all right, I don't think we can do this.
Yeah, I think it
I think
was.
we called it.
I think it was like I had made a trailer and I announced the trailer and then like a teaser trailer, whatever the fuck. And
Hmm.
then I put the trailer out. And I was like, Friday the 13th or like October the 13th, which was on a Friday. I was like, if this map doesn't release on Friday the 13th, I will fucking end my life. Like it is coming out that day. And then you were like, I'm not gonna be able to do this. That's such a fucking that's such an unreasonable expectation. I was like, okay, fuck it. We don't need it. I'll just put the fucking napalm zombie in there. I think that
Yeah, I forgot we had we added the napalms because of that.
I think that was I don't know. The napalms work really well for the map. It would have been
Yeah, I
nice
think
to
they
have
fit.
like an original AI, but like I honestly couldn't give too much of a fuck. There are a lot of things I
Yeah,
would change about that original Evil Dead map. Is there anything you would fucking change about
literally everything I made.
it?
Everything I made was stuck together with fucking staples and tape. Not duct tape either, fucking scotch.
Oh, not the scotch tape.
But oh my god. Like I'm just thinking I didn't know how like anims worked at the time.
Mhm.
So during the ritual step, instead of playing what's called a script bundle on the zombies themselves, I or let me reiterate. During the ritual step, when they would go into the circle to kind of float up in the air,
Yeah.
I didn't know how anims worked or what they're called script bundles. So I completely deleted the zombie from existence and spawned a model of that zombie's body and played the anim on that because I didn't know
Really?
how to do script bundles for the AI. I only know how to do animated models. So I was like, all right, this band-aid kind of works. And let me tell you, script bundles are the easiest fucking thing for anim scripting. So I was just a dumbass, but I tried to make it work. And if you still play that map now, you can see that they're like missing their heads sometimes, or they just don't look like the same zombie model. It it's really fucking bad. Like that's the main thing I want to change was that whole ritual step is just I I get disgusted thinking about it now.
Oh no, dude. I think, I can relate to things being just patched together with, little bits of tape.
Yeah.
Like that original Evil Dead map and everything I made before is just like, well, let me staple that and let me, you know, not even Gorilla Glue. Let me just, like let me just kind of, little stick
Let
purple
me get
glue
my
that. Yeah,
Elmers.
get some
Yeah.
Elmer's glue, put it on there. But I find like the mechanics themselves, without knowing everything that goes behind it, I think they work
Mhm.
perfectly in that map.
I wouldn't say perfect. I think I was okay at the band-aid shit when I first started, that I could make it kind of work, even though you should never fucking do it that way. I just think it could have been worse, is how I kind of see it.
Well, the map was definitely a lot. It's definitely worse for me as time goes on. I think it's kind of like a bell curve. Like when the map released, I was so depressed about it. And then
Yeah.
it got really popular. I was like, never mind. I'm the fucking goat. What the hell? And then like as time passes, I'm like, why do people like this map?
No, I think that map is fucking amazing.
Ah, thank you, but I don't. No,
I,
I really enjoy it, and I enjoy like playing on it from time to time.
mhm.
I mainly just do the like speed run the Easter egg. I find that to be like the most fun thing to do.
I actually, back when we were working on it, when I don't know if it was when I first saw the doc or when I was working on the Easter egg. No, actually, it was before I started the Easter egg because I was really into the map.
Mhm.
I was super into shadows at the time. I was playing it like every fucking day that week.
Yeah,
And then you sent me the Easter egg steps on the dock, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is literally like Shadows of fucking Evil."
yeah. I
And
mean,
I had a
that's where I
huge
was
mood for
taking
it.
that's where I was taking a lot of inspo. I was like, all right, it's gonna be like Shadows of Evil. I'm gonna use a lot of the Shadows assets, maybe a bit of Mob of the Dead in here, and
Yeah.
it's just it's just an amalgamation of my
Oh
favorite
god, don't say
maps.
amalgam. But no, yeah, I was really fucking with the steps like laid out, and I was like, dude, I want to make a fucking boss fight for this map because this Easter egg is so fucking cool.
Mhm.
And I was so close to suggesting one to you,
Well,
but
that's the whole thing. My idea for a boss fight, if I ever do an Evil Dead remastered map,
mhm,
this will be in here. But it would be like kind of like the ending for Evil Dead 2, where this big fucking monster just comes out and starts
yeah,
tearing shit up.
a big old tree.
I think what I would want is that. Oh, this is gonna get in spoiler territory, but I may never make the map, so who gives a fuck, really?
Exactly.
Like after the ritual step, you go down to the basement and you fucking knife the door, and then Ash gives you some dialogue. But before then, like a big fucking boom is heard above you, and you're kind of like locked in the basement area.
Mhm.
And then you just go up the staircase, and there's just this big giant fucking monster, and half the cabin roof is just like gone, and half of everything is just completely destroyed.
Yeah,
I think that would
that
be
sounds fucking sick.
it, that would be an idea, but I need to finish Army of Darkness and a few other projects
Yeah.
before I would even consider remaking that. Plus, it came out like last year and a half ago. I mean, come on.
Mhm.
I can't possibly have improved that much in that little time.
I don't know, I would say you have.
Well, you definitely have. I see the maps that you're making now with Broads and MJ, and I'm like, fuck, this is just some amazing work. Speaking of Broads, how did I was gonna ask, how did you get in contact with him? But I think Broads DM'd me and was like, "Amazing map.
Yeah,
Who's your scripter?" I was like, "Oh, it's this
right.
guy."
I was actually in Florida at the time, doing my, like, Orlando Disney trip,
Oh yeah,
and
I think in the DM I literally tell him he's on vacation right now.
yeah. So I was just chilling in the hotel, and I get a DM saying, "Hey," from Broads, obviously, but he's just like, "Hey, I'm working on a Walking Dead map. Would you be interested in being my scripter?" And I was kinda just, like, asking him what he wanted from it. He was just saying the simple stuff, side quest, main quest, potential boss fight, or maybe I suggested the boss fight, but I don't know, just shit like that. And I just got done with Evil Dead, I believe.
Yeah, I think it couldn't have
Yeah,
been
because
like a
I think
month
I went at the
later.
end of October. So yeah, it must have been like a couple weeks after Evil Dead. So I was just like, fuck it, I got nothing going on. Let me fuck yeah, like I'll do this for you. And back then, I think I kind of regretted taking on a lot at once because I would just say yes to everybody
Mm,
and just do it for free.
the fickle bottom clause.
Yeah.
Well, when working on Left Behind, I found like that map was really like sound. I remember you were showing me kind of ideas that you were working on, and then
Hmm.
like you'd be like, "Hey, bro, just sent me this screenshot." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And
Oh
then
God, yeah.
the map comes out and it gets first place in the NoahJ competition.
That I have to say I was not expecting. at all.
I could feel it. I honestly could feel it.
I was definitely shooting for like top 5. The map is fucking beautiful. I still love looking back and playing it because Broads is such a great fucking mapper. But still, even that, I was not expecting first place because I felt like I didn't have much to it. Like it had the main quest and one side quest, so I was like, okay, I don't know if this is enough because I know Noah really likes that shit.
Well, how long was the competition? Was it like a month or was it 2 months?
I think it was a month and a half
Month and a half.
total,
It's not
and
it's not the
then
most amount of time to get stuff
mhm.
done, but then at the same time I see like Broads put that whole thing together. I'm like, it's a fairly expansive map for just being made in a month and a half. I could if I was in an NoahJ competition, it'd be 3 rooms tops. Like I could not make an entire mall and have that Easter egg that you did. That Easter egg still pisses me off. I'll tell the audience this. It was me, Fanatic, and MJPW, and it was I believe the electric step.
Yep. Little.
How
Oh yeah, yeah, the lights and stuff.
I hate these two. They always make me do the damn Easter eggs. I am not good at Easter eggs, and they won't say anything at all.
Oh.
So we get to that step, and he's like, "You should probably look over there." And then he like points to this general vicinity, and like in the map, it's pretty wide open. So I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to be looking at? And then I we had to have been on that. You had to have been waiting for me for like 20, 30 minutes to
Oh,
figure
I loved
out
it.
to figure
Sitting in
that
the
out.
corner watching. I love that shit.
I was getting so pissed off, just be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Then I eventually figured out it was the electricity. And I still got it wrong. I'm like fairly certain I got it wrong.
You're like, okay, it's Morse code. Like, how do you just had to count them out.
I was like, it's Morse code, it's saying something. Fuck. How do you translate Morse code?
But yeah, going back to the development of that map, I want to say we were 2 weeks in, maybe. It was during the time when me, you, and MJ were playing GTA. We were
Mm,
doing the heist and stuff. Um, Me and Bros both took like a 2 week complete break from the map because we were just both so dead, and we were like, we're never gonna do this entire thing. We're never gonna get this shit done. But eventually, Broads came back and he's like, okay, here's what I have planned out. And he gave me the layout of the entire mall. And he's like, I'm gonna like fucking do everything I can and I'm gonna get this shit done.
mm,
And I was like, holy shit, like he's actually gonna be able to do this because he started sending me pictures and I was like, damn, like he's been doing so much work. I can't give up on him now, you know?
mm.
So there was like entire areas that we didn't think would be possible. Like the parking garage at all, we didn't think we could even have the door open
Really?
because he wouldn't be able to do that in time. The truck kind of loading bay zone, so both the spore zones, I guess, he didn't think he would have any time for. The lower part of the mall, he didn't think he'd have time for. So we were just like really stressing on what the map was even going to be and how the Easter egg was going to work in it. Um, but eventually, I mean, fuck, dude, Broads is insane. He got the entire thing done and way more than we expected, and I think it worked out pretty fucking great.
No, you two made a fantastic team for that map. I think Broads. I mean, I'm so grateful I had him on the podcast. He is probably one of my favorite mappers
Hell yeah.
of all time. Like he's just I don't know how the fuck he does it. He's just so fast
Right?
and all of his environments look so natural. I'm like, dude, what? Stop. like, like, stop working. You're making me look bad.
Like, let me tell you, when I leave Spawn and Left Behind and go to that kind of sunsetty orange kind of area by the cafe, I still get fucking chills. Like, I don't know how it's Black Ops 3. He did such a good fucking job.
I forget, was it the same competition or a different competition when you first worked with MJPW for the conclusion too?
Even for conclusion 2, I didn't know what I was working on. That's how cryptic MJPW is for you, you guys that don't know.
No, I'm worried to have him on the podcast. I'm pretty sure he's up next, and that I doubt he'll say anything. It's gonna be like a 5 minute podcast, and he's just gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm working on something."
Yeah.
Well, what is it? It's something.
Oh, you know.
You know. I love him to death though. He's the
Oh yeah,
best.
dude. For me to not know what I'm doing, like for example, one of the steps he gave me, it's like, okay, I can't tell you what I'm doing, but I need apples to turn into oranges. And I said, okay, what the fuck does that mean? So I called the function name apples to oranges, not knowing what the fuck it did. He's like, all right, I got it from here. And I was able to hunt the map that I scripted for him. It was like he did really fucking well changing that shit around.
That's got to be an interesting experience having kind of made these templates not knowing where they're going to be,
Exactly.
and then you play the map and you're like, okay, what the like, this is pretty much a new experience for you.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking great. I love that he did that shit. And I have to credit him one more time. Left Behind, a huge part of it was thanks to him as well because I obviously still don't know how AI works and rigging, especially at the time. So he stepped in and made the bloater for me.
Really?
He was able to rig that up and give me the boss through the Cellbreaker or Brutus script. And all of that was thanks to him. And I really fucking appreciate that because that is the only Last of Us enemy type we had because we couldn't get the clickers in time.
Shout out P Dubsky.
Shout out P Dubsky for keeping me in theme of the game.
I think it was after the conclusion too. I was like, okay. I'm pretty sure I started working on Army of Darkness right after Evil Dead, but it wasn't until after the conclusion too where I was like, okay, we're gonna actually start working on this now. And even to this day, I don't have like a full document.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know.
I've got like, I want to say, what is it, like 16 pages, and it's like still incomplete. Oh my
We're getting
goodness.
there, bro. We're getting there.
It's a slow process. I want to know kind of like, I'm the mapper of the map. I have an idea of what I want it to be. What is kind of your thought process without spoiling too much of it? Like going into the map and being like, okay, I've got these challenges, these to set up. This is going to be difficult. I'll put that on the back burner. What is kind of your
Mhm.
thought process so far by with working on the map?
Right now, I would say, without saying what they are, the AI is probably going to be my biggest obstacle. I mean, I was told by Ray that they're really not that bad, especially if you kind of like already know scripting.
Hmm.
I feel once I start getting into it, I'll be like, okay, this really isn't that bad, and I'll be able to add certain stuff and then just kind of use it as a template going forward. That's why I wanted to work on the Scout AI from Extinction first,
Mm.
because they're kind of like a basic little goon enemy type. They're like, okay, if I just do that, then I'll at least know how AI works, and then I can go back to Army of Darkness to do the bigger shit.
Yeah, I think the AI. There's a few unique AIs. I want to say without giving too much
Yeah.
away. Like in dev streams, people are like, "Are there going to be unique special enemies or AI?" I'm like, "Yes."
Without giving it away, you can cut this part out, but I believe there are 4 off the top of my head.
Oh shit! I was gonna say three, but you're right. There are four. God damn it! Oh man. What are you most excited for when working on the map? What's something that you're like, this is gonna be big?
1000% the Easter egg. You know, that one step, that step right there. Oh my god, just in my head, it looks so fucking good. I want it to look like a fucking movie,
I
you know?
I think I envisioned that step. Like that was one of the first ones I thought of. I was like, this is
Mhm.
this is gonna be this is gonna be something else. and I'm
I cannot wait to make that and make it look fucking sick. I want to perfect that as best as I can.
I'm hoping the best for it.
Yeah. I think my biggest problem is, you know me, I love Easter eggs. So instead of working on shit, I'm just going in the Discord and saying, "Hey, look at this side Easter egg that we can do." And I've probably submitted like 5 more at this point.
Mhm.
Uh, that yeah, I just keep adding and adding and adding shit on because I'm
Well,
like, "Hey,
I'm
this could
not
look kind of cool."
complaining. I anything to make the map better, I'm always there for. There's some things I the difference between you and me I find is that I love things to be very straightforward and I don't like
Mhm.
to be fucking fucked around by stupid ass puzzles. And
Oh,
you absolutely love a good
I
puzzle.
crave it. Anything that gets me thinking for like 10 hours, it's like, "Okay, now I can do it." I love that shit.
I want to have like that perfect balance and
Mhm,
since the main Easter egg isn't fully uh thought up, I still want to
mhm.
try to figure out that balance and I think
Yeah, I think the main quest, it's good to have that kinda straightforwardness to it.
mhm,
Like something like Evil Dead, like that was super straightforward, and Army in Darkness, you know, there are certain steps that go a little beyond, but it's not gonna be too crazy. I'll keep that stuff to the side quests.
yeah, no, uh, have as much fucking puzzly shit as you need for the side quests.
Hell yeah.
The main Easter egg, I definitely want to focus more on narrative because I want to stretch my screenwriting minor chops, my filmmaking major chops. Let's see if I can. My money was worth it for video
Hell yeah.
games. What do you find to be like the most consuming part of scripting, whether that be Evil Dead or any other project that you've worked on?
I guess I just like to keep things clean. So if I can make a script as little as lines as possible, I will completely like rewrite a script to make it happen that
Hmm.
way. Uh, so I guess that takes up a bit of time, but it's nothing like too crazy. The biggest things are just like learning new shit. I'm just like, okay, I don't know how this works, and then I make band-aids for it until I learn the real thing, and then rewrite everything. Kind of like you with mapping in a way, I
Yeah,
guess.
I get. Yeah, the difference between mapping and scripting isn't too far off.
It's just words versus pictures, right?
Yeah, because I will make a room, I will bandage it together, and then I'll leave it alone for 2 months, and then be like, okay, it's time to either one completely get rid of the room. I think there have been like 7 rooms just completely removed from Army of Darkness at this point.
Jesus.
Cause
Oh, that grand staircase, man.
oh, the grand staircase. I still have the dev streams up of me working on those sections. Now they're just not in the map. And I think like a few others are a lot of them are pretty old. So I'm like working on like the secret cabin in the woods area, and it's just not. It doesn't look the same. So it's either those kind of like completely remove it or take the same basic shape of the room and just redecorate it. And it's not.
Right.
I find it, at least in my perception. I mean, it's not at all different. It's just the same process through different mediums.
Looking back and remaking, I definitely do that with scripts. Like, I would love to go back and remake those Evil Dead scripts like, completely from scratch, but I don't know. Maybe it'll happen eventually.
Now, do you find a balance with scripting really complex things and making it fun for players?
Uh, no, not really.
No.
Like the more I can piss them off and make them struggle and I guess just make them think for as long as I possibly can. Um, I love that shit.
Oh,
Just
you're a
being
genuine
being in the
Jason
know.
Blundell.
Just being in the know.
I definitely love the way that you just like think about Easter egg steps and just kind of like throw ideas out and just be like this would be a good puzzle. This would be interesting to see. You definitely have a keen eye for what makes zombies Not just like a survival game, but a puzzle game as well.
That's like the number one thing that made me fall in love with zombies was the Easter eggs. And obviously the older games, Black Ops 1, they're like, okay, like Ascension, you fucking click a button, you shoot this little orb. So those ones don't really get me until we got to the Black Ops 3 through Black Ops 4 era.
Hmm.
Black Ops 3 obviously had some great fucking puzzles and boss fights. IW, amazing fucking boss fights. I love boss fights like with all my heart. World War II puzzles and Easter eggs are probably my favorite in all of COD. And I mean, shit, Black Ops 4 all around just really fucking nailed everything that I love about zombies.
Hmm.
So I was fucking thriving. Those 4 years was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, everybody else was fucking miserable. You're over here being like, yeah, dude, this is
Having
my
the time of
shit.
my fucking life over here.
I do want to talk about your, I would say, controversial, your idiotic takes on some zombies maps.
All right, let's sit down here.
No, but you often you like maps that seem to be overlooked or disregarded by the community. I think the Darkest Shore really comes to mind.
Oh, my baby. Darkest Shore, man, just that whole Easter egg is just fun because I don't know, the story behind it I think is great. I'm not a big story guy, but that the one of like the three sons with the mother in the statue I think is just pretty fucking cool for how subtle it is in the map.
Mhm.
And it just being like built in to the Easter egg I thought was done really well. And fuck dude, I don't know. Shooting the boats down, angling the fucking cannon. I just think it's fucking sick. I don't know what to say about it. The only thing I can say was like the boss fight could have been a little more interesting. Like if it had their own kind of area for them, I think it would have been great. But
Mhm.
I still can't complain. I love the map.
No, yeah, definitely. I've only played. I can't even remember the name. The first map that came out on World War II,
Final Reich.
Final Reich. I've played
That
that
is a.
map. I think did we do the Easter egg or did we just get like halfway and then I was like, I rage quit.
I don't think we ever played World War II, did we?
No, I downloaded the game to play zombies with you. We must have at some point at least hopped on one time.
I don't remember. I just remember we did Spaceland and all the ether maps on Black Ops 4 with MJ.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, we definitely did all the ether maps. I think I remember Tagter Toten bugged out. We didn't even get the
Oh
ending
my god.
cutscene. But when playing a map in any Call of Duty, even the modern ones, are you taking kind of like mental notes of steps that they do and thinking if you can implement them into future maps?
I would say absolutely. I mean, I always just go through all the old Easter eggs and think of, you know, hey, this is kind of cool. How can I kind of do something like that as like a puzzle or something if I need to think? Not so much the modern games. Uh, gotta say, I'm not really a fan. The boss fights are kind of good still. Well, I can't say kind of. The Black Ops 6 ones have been really good, except
Yeah,
for 2.
I was about to say the Terminus boss fight. I love that thing.
Terminus boss fight sick. Citadel's boss fight. That arena is still fucking amazing to me. But yeah, I don't know. The Easter eggs just haven't been it for me.
Hmm.
But let me tell you, Attack the Radioactive thing, my favorite map of all time.
The goat map.
that
The goat
that
map.
chemical step still lingers in my head. I love that shit. They fucking nailed it perfectly. And I still want to make something exactly like it, if not more.
Well, you have a
I fucking love that thing.
I believe you on your GitHub you have the chemical step calculator.
Hell yeah. If you ever need that step solved, click a few buttons and it's all done.
I want to ask. This is going to be a complete invasion of privacy. I am terribly
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, my social is
Do you have the calculator? Do you even need that tool when you're playing attack? Do you just know it by heart?
I definitely don't know all of the combinations by heart.
Hmm.
I do still use it, but from time to time, I'll just go in and do it normally if I want to have fun with it. So I wouldn't say I need it every time, but it is nice to have if I just want to do it super quick.
No, yeah, you have a quite a few tools on your GitHub. I think the most recent one, if I'm not mistaken, is the algebra for Terminus.
It might be because the other maps haven't needed
Yeah, there's not really. I think the closest thing is like the dials on Citadel.
even that. There's only like five, and people have pictures for them.
Hmm.
So I mean that I didn't really think it really needed one because it's less random. But yeah, I mean there's
I
the
mean,
algebra thing for
even the algebra
Terminus.
thing, it's like I think I remember you made it, and I was like, dude, do people not know how to do math? It's like
I just
I
think
don't think you needed
people
to
are
make
really
this.
people are really fucking lazy when it comes to that shit. So I'm just like, all right, dude, I'll
I,
fucking whip this up real
I
quick.
mean, I guess it really helps with speedrun times, you know.
Yeah. And I also should mention, if you need to use it on mobile, join my fucking Discord server. It's on my Discord bot.
Oh yeah,
Good old mechanic, man.
the good old piece of shit mechanic man. I fucking hate that guy. I don't love mechanic man, but I love how you made him, and then it just like my favorite thing to do with that bot is just to be like map, and then it'll give you a map recommendation. That's like the best thing. Because sometimes I'll
Yeah.
just be chilling and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna play a zombies map, but I don't know what to pick. Let me fucking let me see what Mechanic Man has to
And
say.
then he gives you like the sixth version of Rust.
I wanna kind of ask about the current state of custom zombies maps. Do you see it growing in the future, or do you think it's gonna kind of die down with the release of more modern CODs and less people coming back to them?
I want to say no. I don't think it'll die down so long as they don't release a new mod tools.
Hmm.
Unless, they get their shit together and start making like huge fucking good maps again. I don't know. I think what Black Ops 3 was top on Steam a few months ago, if even a few months.
I think Black Ops
Uh
3 is like always kind of coming in and out
it's
of being
always up
the
there.
top
So
game.
I think people are always looking for some good shit, but it's hard to really say when it'll die out cuz nothing lasts forever.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping it'll die out after I'm done.
Mhm.
That
I
would
can't work
be.
on Point of Contact for 6 years and have no one play it.
Speaking of point of contact,
I think it's time.
I think it's time that we do a little announcement on Twitter. How long ago was it on Twitter that you made a post that you were remastering point of contact?
I it must have been I think after Evil Dead or maybe even before the release of Evil Dead. I was just like, "Hey, do you guys like Extinction? Do you want to see the map?" Let me scroll back here.
Because it's
Da-da-da-da.
this short video of you making like ZM underscore
Exactly.
POC.
So yeah, November 2023 would have been right after, like a month after Evil Dead released. I was just like, "Hey, do you guys like Extinction? Would you like to see it in Black Ops 3?" And people were just like, "Fuck yeah. It's time." Like there's been no Extinction for Black Ops 3. That would be fucking sick. And it got like 30 fucking likes, which was a lot to me back then. So I was just like, shit, people might be interested. So the next day, I released that short video of me making the new map file, ZMPOC. Um, and I did fucking nothing with it. I ripped the map and got that model, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna fucking map this shit. So for like 4 months, nothing got done for it. I didn't do shit. So I was like, uh-oh, I kind of announced this thing. Probably shouldn't have done that.
Was it me who was kind of like, hey, are you still working on that?
Yep. you came to me and you're like, "Hey, are you mapping point of contact yourself?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was gonna give it a shot, do the best I can." And I kind of jokingly said, "Unless you want to do it," and you're just like, "Yeah." I forget what you said, but you were just like, "Sure."
I was like, ah,
So
fuck it.
April 2024, this would have been what, 6 months after I announced I was working on it.
And this is
I
like
said,
near a year ago. Jesus.
yeah, I said, "Hey, I haven't given up on this. As of today, I got, oh, look at me glazing here. I got one of the most talented mappers in the community to work on this project to make it look better than ever." So, yeah, that's when you came on, and I became hopeful for the project again.
And we never worked on it since.
We haven't touched it since.
No,
No.
there's been steady progress on the map. There hasn't been too much since my main focus is Army of Darkness
Of
and
course, and mine as well.
yeah, and then another project I'm working on, but
Ew.
that's to be announced at a later time. But I right now I've got a good idea for the blockout. I've detailed, I want to say, the motel area, or at
Hmm.
least the building of it,
Yeah.
and a few of like the a bit of the terrain around it. But a lot of, I want to say, the first motel area and then all of the downtown area has been fully blocked out so far.
Hell yeah. I'm scrolling up in our DM looking at those pictures right now.
It's probably not a lot, but do you know how much scripting has been done for the
Oh, don't ask me. Don't ask me. To be completely honest, I have not done a single thing for it yet.
I mean, I can't blame you.
To be completely honest.
We do have like a lot going on, but
I'm
it's
sorry if that's disappointing to hear for anyone.
people listening. This is not coming out like this is not coming out tomorrow, or
Like I was not joking when I said 6 years. Like this is gonna take a long time.
we're gonna take our time. We have other projects we want to work on before we can actually like sit down and fucking just rip this shit out. But I'm every time I'm like getting stressed out about working on Army of Darkness, I'm just like, fuck it. I'll build blocks in goddamn point of contact.
And that's how I'm starting to feel now. I'm like, okay, I have all these different projects I'm working with. You, Broads, Mad Gaz now. I'm just like, okay, like if I just want to chill for a sec, I'm like, okay, I might start going to point of contact. And I want to start working on the AI within the next couple of months,
Mm.
I think. Like at least get the scout done. And the AI, oh my god. I'm probably gonna have to redo it down the line too once I learn it, but trying to make those perfect is like my main priority for the map because they move in all sorts of different ways compared to zombies. They jump on the walls, they fucking taunt you, they don't travel like in a big horde. They're all like spread out. So I think that's going to be a bit of a challenge. That's why I just want to kind of start now
Mhm.
so I can at least start learning.
We have like little playtest versions of the map. I don't think I fully sent you like a map geo that I have currently worked on. I think there's
Hmm.
like two right now because I'm a bit lazy with how I map, and instead of like fully taking the model into like Blender and cutting out a building, I just kind of
Hmm.
have a full map geo, and then I have another map that is rotated like 45 degrees so I can work on
Okay.
buildings that are angled. Which
Yeah,
is it's a bad workaround, but everything's prefab so I can kind of just drag and drop it and not have to
exactly.
worry too much about it. I do want to ask, what are your highest expectations for the map? What is something that you're like, this has to happen?
I don't know if I could say one thing because I honestly need everything to be perfect about it. Like, I don't even want to release it if there's any like small little bugs that are just, you know, I
Hmm.
was like, I need to get fucking rid of that. I want it to be perfect in every fucking way, which I know is kind of an insane expectation to set on yourself, but I don't know. I'll try to make it work. But if I were to single something out, I mean, yeah, it would be the AI. It would be, yeah, honestly, that's probably it. The AI, I think, just has to be perfect more than anything.
Hmm.
So they're not too dumb. They're not too easy. Like, I want it to feel like the actual game where it challenges you to get through the map.
As the map is very slowly, might I add, uh, coming to fruition, and it's kind of become more and more tangible. I'd say there are a lot
Mhm.
of things where I'm like, how the fuck are we gonna do that? Like, the biggest thing that comes to mind is the nuke, because
Mm,
the one
fuck.
in game, it looks good on the Ghost engine, not so much on the
Not at
Black
all.
Ops 3 engine. I think Jaybird has the point of contact spawn room as like
Yep.
a
Christmas Halloween edition.
Christmas Halloween thing. And the map looks good, but then you look off in the distance and you see that nuke and you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's I mean, I don't blame him. Jaybird's
No.
fucking obviously very
Yeah,
good.
he's one of the
But
best
that
mappers
nuke,
there are.
fuck man.
I,
I don't
it's
I
it's
don't
not
know
it's not
what we're
even
gonna
his fault.
do.
It's just the fucking it's just the nuke. I don't know how we're
Yeah.
possibly gonna do that. But that's for, what is it?
That's for later
That's
us.
for about 2 years in the future us to really deal
Exactly.
with. But when it comes to like this map, how are you thinking about approaching optimization, since it's such a massive map and there's gonna be like
Mhm.
a lot with, I imagine, the code. Like, I don't even know how the fuck I'm gonna optimize the map if I'm gonna be for real.
So yeah, I think I was just gonna hand all of that over to you
Oh,
and have
okay.
you figure it out.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah,
So yeah.
I could try. Yeah, the map will definitely never release if you do that. So I don't
Okay.
know how well that's gonna work out.
But no, I think there's certain scripts shit that you can do to like unload sections of the map based on where you are. So if you're in like the motel area, I'll just, you obviously don't need the whole town and the cabin area loaded.
Mhm.
So I think that alone is going to be enough on the scripting side to just only load the section that you're in at the time because you can't see them from the other areas, which I'd imagine that's what they did.
Yeah,
Probably, but yeah, if you're in the town, you can't see the motel from anywhere. You can't see the cabins from anywhere because there's a big ass fucking mountain in the way. So I think that alone should be fine, but if not, we'll figure it out.
I never thought that I'd be remastering Transit in a way. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's such a massive map, and there's so many just giant things about it. Not just in like the mapping, but like in scripting, how you, it's just
Mhm.
this big narrative that takes place, and everything is just very linear. And
Yeah.
helicopters come in, the hives. I don't even know how the fuck we're gonna do the hives, but
Oh,
that
that part's not gonna be bad.
that's not gonna be bad.
No, not at all.
But just kind of thinking about it all together, like, a problem we've had is we can't even get a proper skybox for the map. I'm mapping it in the day because I'm like, well, I could see what I'm doing. But definitely, I don't want to say we're over ambitious, because I feel like we can handle it. But
I definitely think we can.
just like
It's just
thinking
gonna
about it,
take
I'm
time.
just like fuck. This is, once Army of Darkness is out, I'm just gonna be like, fuck. Now I gotta work on this big
Well,
motherfucker.
just take like a month off, chill.
Oh, dude, I already take months off when I'm working on Army of Darkness. That's not gonna be the issue. Now, do you find yourself like, I don't know, doing what I do and just being like, okay, fuck it, I'm not doing mapping anymore, or I'm not scripting anymore. I'm just gonna take like a month break.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember one time you just went radio silent and you were playing Elden Ring or like all the Souls games or something like that.
Oh, on you and MJ?
Yeah, just
I think that was
absolute.
Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, Resident,
I
absolute
went on a
radio
big Resident
silence,
Evil
and
phase.
he was like, he comes back after a month and he's like, yeah, I just played all the Resident Evil games.
We got done with like an Easter egg, and Yeah, I don't know. I just fucking turned off Discord the next day without saying anything and just started fucking playing Resident Evil, getting all the achievements. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot. And then came back, it's like, all right, guys, I'm all done.
And we were like, we've moved on from you. No, I think it's the approach to scripting I find is, at least your approach is very like relaxed, and you don't try to stress yourself out about too many things, because at the end of the day it is just something to do for fun. And that's something I really do admire about you. It's just kind of like, yeah, I'm just I'm going to go play something that brings me enjoyment for a month, because like this is like not not what I want to do. I find that your ability to just find the enjoyment in not only zombies, but just the customs community in a whole, I think that's really
Yeah.
inspiring. I want to ask, what do you think your favorite custom map is that you've
Oh
played?
God.
Because we've played a lot,
We have played quite a bit.
and I just I love going into customs and seeing what the community makes. I want to know. I want to
Mm.
get your take on it. What do you think? Maybe not a top one, but what like first comes to mind where you're like, this one is just
The
like,
very first map that comes to mind is Leviathan.
mm,
That map is a fucking behemoth. The Easter egg is fantastic. And shit, there's two boss fights. You know, I love those. I just think they did fucking great. Another one, I mean, shit, there's Nightmare. That was a fucking great project. Damn. Rainy Death is a good one.
oh yeah, Rainy Death. That's a great one.
Yeah, I think I treated Leviathan like an actual DLC.
Hmm.
Because I mean, shit, most custom maps you play maybe once or twice, and if it's good enough, you go back. But Leviathan, I spent like probably 2 weeks straight just playing the map, doing the Easter egg, and doing what I would normally do, like on a full official new map release.
Hmm.
Kind of writing guides or watching the guides. Shit.
In my opinion, that's what like the best custom maps do. Is just something that it doesn't need to feel like Treyarch. It just needs to feel like, I guess, official, or it just needs to feel
I
like
know.
something
It's hard
new.
to categorize that.
Like I feel like there are very few maps that I have consistently downloaded on my PC.
Hmm.
I think like Daybreak by Robit is one, because
Mm,
I'll keep coming back.
yes.
It's small, it's simple. The quest is so fun,
Hmm.
and it's just one of the most, for being a small map and having a Black Ops 4 aesthetic, Army of
Hmm.
Darkness. It's it's just so beautiful. Like I
And
find that
they've
map
really,
amazing.
really captured that Black Ops 4 aesthetic
Mhm.
really fucking well.
Rainy Death. I don't have that currently installed, because
Hmm.
that's a that's a big boy on the
It's a
old
big boy. That
SSD.
that's 6 GB.
I'm telling you right now, I don't have 6 gigabytes to spare. Just keep going back to that one every once in a while. Just download it.
Yep.
All the killing floor aesthetic and just
Hmm.
Titanfall boss. I love that
All
one.
the custom weapons,
Yeah.
super fucking well done. It's just refreshing after seeing, I keep saying it on this cast, but the all the different rust, the shipment,
Hmm.
the tower maps, those just really aren't my thing. Like even survival maps I'm not big on. So just seeing the big maps like Leviathan and Rainy Death, I just treat so much more like an official release because it's just so much more special to me.
Do you have any thoughts and opinions for new mappers who want to kind of break out of that just making a survival map? Are there any like ways you could say to kind of like little things to just take a map to that next level?
I would say just don't jump the gun, you know? Like don't if all you can make right now is a shipment map, do it. I'm not saying they're bad. Do whatever it is that you can do to start learning before jumping and doing a massive fucking transit map, you know?
Hmm.
You can't do that as your first few projects as a new mapper. Just do what you're comfortable with and just have fucking fun with it. Don't take it seriously. Make a little piece of shit box map for, if it's what you need to do to get going.
No, yeah, definitely the early maps I find are are charming. Like if I tell like this is someone's first map,
Hmm.
I there's charm to it. And I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever really commented on a map in like the workshop, but I do take notes of maps and I do try to learn from them, whether it be a Kowloon or a small little
Yeah.
box map. There's always something to take from that. Do you find yourself playing custom maps and seeing ideas and you're like, okay, I understand that. I understand the mechanic. I think I can implement that in a similar way.
Uh, I want to say yes. Like, definitely early on, I would play a shit ton of custom maps. Europa, Logical, fucking like during that sort of time, maybe
Mhm.
2021, I was obsessed with playing custom maps, seeing all their custom Easter eggs and how they did shit. It kind of helped me to understand what we could do with this engine and in this game. So it did help quite a bit, but I'm trying to think of a specific example. I guess I could bring up Leviathan again.
I gotta bring up
Just like
Leviathan again.
like seeing their like kind of valve puzzle working with the numbers and the colors and valves at the same time. I'm just like, shit, you could really add as many layers as you fucking want to a step. There's nothing really stopping us
Mhm.
in Black Ops 3. So after playing that, I'm like, okay, I really need to learn how this shit is done so I can make as cool as an Easter egg as this.
Complexity in Easter eggs is just it's definitely for me, it's kind of like a win-lose situation because I
Hmm.
like it when an Easter egg is complex and I like having to, you know, maybe get up a guide if I can't find something. But at the same time, when I get to like Blood of the Dead and I need to take out a sheet of paper and start writing shit down
Hmm.
and, you know, looking at buoys and calculating Morse code, I'm like, okay, I think we've hit a
Yeah,
little bit of a barrier here. Blood of the Dead
I gotta
is
say,
my favorite map, but like what are we doing? Like,
yeah, there's definitely some overdone shit in zombies. 1,000%. Morse code has been used more times than I can fucking count, probably. But I don't know. At the same time, I do love those steps that make you think. And usually, when you have to think, you have to write something down to kind of help you out with it. So it is kind of, I can see how you see it as a win lose
mhm.
because if you want to replay it again, then it's kind of not as special the second time because now you're just writing it down because you have to instead of actually figuring it out. So it will, I shouldn't say will, I should say it is kind of a tough one to think about if you want to make it kind of perfect,
Mhm.
like on a first playthrough and then playthroughs after that. So it's not as tedious. It's tedious. I hate that shit too.
Yeah, definitely. It's a fine line between tedious, fun, and boring. Because
Yeah.
I play a Cold War Easter egg like Firebase Z. I think I did that
Hmm.
Easter egg once. I'll play Mauer der Toten. I used to speed run the shit out of that Easter egg. That one was fun. It was just the right amount of thought process, waiting for a bit of RNG. I don't think you have to really solve anything, but that's kind of like my
Hmm.
kind of Easter egg. It's just like, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to see how fast I can do it. It's very straightforward. And then, you know, get a time out of that.
Hmm.
Do you find yourself kind of like testing yourself on scripts that you made, just being like, okay, how can I improve this
Right.
after a playthrough?
I definitely I'm playing through. If I change a fucking model in the script, I jump into fucking game and see how it looks. You know,
Mhm.
which is it's kind of a downside because after the littlest change, I like to hop in game and see and see how it's doing. So I am constantly playing through everything that I make to make sure it's not only working, but that it's actually fun to do, or at least kind of makes sense and is not dumb as fuck.
Sometimes I just tell you to make something dumb, and then you're like, okay.
Okay, right on that Mr. Mode.
What is one thing that you think scripters don't realize when they start, making a map? It might be overlooked, but it's one of the most useful things that you have found.
That you pretty much have to do everything yourself.
Oh, that's bleak.
No, don't. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, you know?
Mhm.
The first coding language I ever learned was the one for Black Ops 3. I didn't know how that shit worked at all before. And I mean, once you start, it's really kind of fucking easy, kind I want to say. If you
Mhm.
start on that vid that I linked, like just picking up an item, putting it somewhere, that I was like, holy shit, like that's really fucking simple. I can definitely do that. And once I started with that, I started going off and doing my own sort of thing, and then obviously interacting with the community in the mod tool server or wherever. You know, they can teach you how to do more things, and that's kind of how I started. I started on the Mod Me wiki or the forum
Oh, I think I was
before that went down.
I came in like after that was down.
Yeah. So I was in there, so it's kind of just like you make a post and check back the next day. Hopefully someone responded.
Mhm.
But now, I mean, shit, you have the Mod Tools Discord, DevRaw Discord. You can always fucking DM anybody and ask them. I'm sure they'll be more than willing to respond. So, I mean, I think it's right now is probably the best time for you to jump in and start learning scripting now that, everything's kind of been figured out already. We have a shit ton of tools to help with whatever you kind of need.
There's a bunch just out there in the open. I find it hard to learn scripting without
Hmm.
somebody kind of like guiding me through the process. I think I had one person early on try to teach me how to make soul boxes, and I was very grateful for their help, but I was like, I listen, man, I don't know. Like
Listen, man.
I don't know this. Like this is a foreign language to me. The only script I ever made was in Evil Dead, and that was to
Yeah.
access the what is it?
Titan wall by.
Yeah, the Titan Wallby in the cabin in the woods area. And I think I used that video that you linked
Hmm.
in like with another video. So I
Hmm.
combined two different kind of scripts where you pick something
Hell
up,
yeah.
put something down, and then like a door opens. Or like you shoot three things, then you can pick something up, put something down.
That's all scripting is really.
Mhm.
You kind of look at other people's shit, you read Treyarch shit, and you're like, oh, that's how they did that. How do I mimic that now with something else?
Well, mine didn't have sounds, which made it very obvious that I made it.
Well,
I remember just going on YouTube and like looking at like videos and streams, and they're like, "Did I do this right? I don't know if I did this right." I'm like, you did do it right. There's just no indicator to tell you that you did." I think scripting, from my perspective, is one of the hardest things that a person can do, and I find it so refreshing that from your perspective, it's one of the easiest.
I mean, I don't want to like dumb it down too much. Like, it will take you a lot of time
Well,
if you're
that's
serious
the
about
same
getting
with
into it.
mapping.
But yeah, that could be said about literally everything.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're willing to just actually sit down and learn, give it like an hour or two every day, even like 30 minutes. If you just do little shit and just learn every little bit you can, then you'll get there. Just give it time.
Well, before we go, I have to bring this to your attention.
Hmm.
I just need to apologize for something.
Okay.
I am terribly sorry that I got you addicted to canes.
Oh my God, I knew this was gonna happen.
I just want to come forward. I want to say this to the public and everybody out there. I'm terribly sorry that I did this to you. I must have cost you so much money. It is
S-
really
uh,
it is such a detriment to us.
in I want to say January of 2024, over a year ago, I gave up fast food Cause like I was getting a lot of fucking McDonald's, I was getting a lot of fucking Wendy's and shit. I was like, okay, I'm I'm done. I'm just gonna make shit or have my dad bring some home. And that's all I ate for like 6 months. And then this motherfucking mold guy was like, hey, try out this Cane's place and get this fucking with the sauce and everything. I said,
Yeah,
okay,
I gave him the
I'll go
order. I
fucking
was
try
like,
it.
you gotta go get a caniac combo, no slaw, extra toast, butter on both sides.
This motherfucker would eat it for months talking about it. I was like, oh no, I've never been. So 6 months later, like June or whatever, I got it and I now eat it every fucking week.
I've slowly tapered off of Cane's.
Thanks, you rubbed it
However,
off on me.
however, when at the times that we have met IRL,
It's always
I
been
will
Cane's.
eat the fuck out of Cane's. I don't think we have been anywhere else but Cane's.
Well, it's been a grand total of 2 times, and they've both been at Cane's.
I absolutely love the Cane's chats. I think the last time we were at Cane's, I just started the podcast. I was like, we
Yep.
should just record this.
Yeah. I'll bring a fucking a microphone next time. We'll do the Cane's cast.
Oh yeah, the custom zombies Cane's special.
Yeah.
I do want to ask one final question before you head out. Is there anything like a dream project you would like to work on that maybe point of contact, maybe not, but something that you were
Mhm.
like, if I could work on this, this would be an absolute dream?
At least for now, because I don't want to think about other projects, but I'm pretty sure my main thing is point of contact. I mean,
Mhm.
ideally all the fucking extinction maps, but that's a little crazy.
I don't
So
know
I,
if I
I
can.
think I think point of contact really is kind of the dream
Mhm.
project, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes after that.
I'm not making any promises on this podcast, but depending on how point of contact goes, I might just skip Nightfall and go straight to Mayday.
Okay.
I remember playing that the most back in when Ghost came out on my Xbox 360, and I think not making any promises. Please, point of contact still 7 years out, but Mayday would be. I think Mayday would be a fun.
That'd be sick.
That'd be a fun
And
map.
let me now go on the record and say I could then after Mayday skip Awakening and go straight to Exodus, my favorite extinction map.
So
Because
we'll make every other extinction map, and we'll have some other people do the two
I mean
that
I'm just
we
thinking
skip.
everything will be done on my side pretty much. So
Mhm.
I would have time to kind of map if I were to,
Mhm.
Like why not just give it a shot if everything's already there and make the other maps.
I could always show you some pointers on how to map.
Give me all the
I think
mold
if we
techniques.
actually, yeah, all the mold techniques, mold methods. I think if we started out with Groston House, we could find a good basis for
Right. The next step is just making, a map 10 times the size.
Mhm. Well, I mean, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
You know, you start off with Evil Dead and then you go to Army of Darkness. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It means a
Yeah.
lot. I'm so happy that you were able to make it. I had a wonderful time chatting with you.
We finally got on the call. It's almost 2 a.m.
Damn near, and I'm all the happier for it. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. See you guys in part 2 once we get point of contact out.
Yeah, see you guys in 8 years. Well, the podcast isn't quite over.
Yeah.
Fanatic managed to convince me to watch him open CS cases.
I convinced you to convince me to spend money on fucking a game I don't play.
We are gonna
All
watch.
right.
We're gonna watch a gold spin by, and
Oh yeah, dude.
we're gonna have quite the unboxing.
And go. Oh, go. I'm watching all of these.
You gotta let him spin.
Okay, that's a good start.
I mean, blue off rip. That doesn't look like the most terrible.
It's fact new.
Yeah,
So-
that's pretty solid. Another blue.
Okay.
Another blue.
Okay.
This one is that's actually a piece of shit. I'm looking for the AK.
Looking for the off, actually.
Ooh, hurt. Okay.
Okay, so the colors are going up. That's the same gun I had before, but it looks a lot worse.
But this one's
Oh, it's
stat
stat
track, yeah. Ooh.
See, that's purple now, see? I wouldn't... Oh.
Oh, that's a bad perk. You should quick open the next one.
I really shouldn't. Which case should I click on?
Okay, middle row, third from the left.
Third from the left. Okay, I know which key.
Top row,
This is like...
top row, very middle.
This is the magic roll. You just got me a knife, so thank you.
You're welcome. Falchion Fade. The P90.
P90... I mean, it's fading.
You gotta quick open one of these. You gotta quick open it and then yell quick open as you do it.
I really don't think that mold method works.
Listen, I got a butterfly knife gamma Doppler phase 3 out of that thing. You gotta be like, quick open! Quick open!
Worth it? See, that wouldn't have worked. I would have got this.
Yeah, but you didn't say it. You gotta say it and then do it.
Quick open.
Ooh,
See, that's...
Ooh, okay, now it gets more exhilarating when you do it like that. Now my heart rate starts bumping.
You know, quick open. You get shot.
Oh my god. Oh my god. oh brother. Oh my god, the fucking Galeels, dude. They don't let up.
Alright, I'm gonna do it, but you say it this time. Say it like whenever you say it, I'll do it.
Quick open! Ooh,
oh my god.
That was not the time to do it. Okay, close your eyes, close your eyes.
Let's both not look.
Okay. Not looking. Not looking. Opening my eyes.
Oh my god.
Wow. That's a specimen for certain. Quick open!
God damn it.
Same thing, same bullshit.
Brother, what is happening? On the quick open.
Ooh. 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 Bro. Fucking scare me like that. Jesus. Oh, the FAMAS is right there.
Oh no, I only have one row of each now. This kind of sucks.
We'll be fine, we'll be fine.
Pink. Oh, stop! Yes!
Oh my gosh.
Yes!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Check the float. That looks nice. Field tested?
Oh, 0.03. 0.3.
That's not bad, dude. That is nice. That is a solid pull.
Hell yeah.
I'm actually pissed that my stream was lagging, so I didn't see you pull it until like Oh, that is such a nice fucking gun.
Hell yeah. Sweet. I got something at least.
Yeah, quick open.
Now anything can happen. Yeah, now that I got that, I can just quick open.
All right, don't quick open these. You gotta let these spin. Cause this has the fucking Falchion Fade in it.
Potential quick open again.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're crazy. You're a madman.
Okay.
Solid perk. I mean, we already have it.
Like reflective.
Final case. Final case.
Final case. What are we thinking here?
I'm thinking it's a 50-50. Either get the knife or you don't.
That's true, but I'm also thinking like USPS torque.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
Okay. Okay.
Hey.
Purple.
End on a purple. I mean, you got the AK. That's like
I got the AK.
That's a solid AK. I had that on my loadout for quite some time.
I don't think I have an AK yet. Certainly not a red one. So.
And this has been the Custom Zombies podcast.
Well. Now I kind of want more.
Oh god. Oh god. Thank you everybody for coming out to the Custom Zombies podcast. We really love zombies here, don't we?